The playoffs are in full swing, and the biggest questions tonight are who's playing? Victor Wembanyama, Austin Reaves, Kevin Durant, all listed as questionable, while Joel Embiid was upgraded to doubtful for tonight. And with that, we have our senior insider, Shams Charania, joining us here on the show. I'm George Sedano, in for Malika Andrews today. Shams, tonight could certainly be determined by who plays, starting with the literal biggest question tonight in San Antonio. What's the latest on Victor Wembanyama's concussion?
George, I'm told Victor Wembanyama participated in shoot-around this morning in Portland, and this is literally just going to come down to whether Wemby can clear concussion protocol in time. It's been just over 66 hours since he entered concussion protocols, but there are strict guidelines. He has to pass neurological exams. He's got to exert himself physically. He's taken positive steps. He's checking boxes. And the reality is, you know, if Wemby is traveling with the team, he wants to try to play either in Game 3 or Game 4. When you look at the Lakers-Rockets series, Austin Reaves is on his way. He's getting closer to coming back from a grade 2 oblique injury. My understanding is Austin Reaves is trying to play in Game 3 tonight. If not Game 3, then Game 4. He started on-court work in the last several days. He's progressed through it. There's been no setbacks. So you think about the timeline that Austin Reaves had earlier this month, 4 to 6 weeks. He definitely has a chance to beat that by a hair. Elsewhere in this series, Kevin Durant, we know he missed Game 1 with a knee contusion. I'm told he suffered a sprained ankle with just over 7 minutes left in Game 2, and he had some swelling in that ankle on Thursday. That swelling has gone down today. He is hopeful, and of course he's going to try to play here as the Lakers are up 2-0 in this series as it shifts back to Houston. And then in the Eastern Conference, we have an injury in the Celtics 76ers series that we all know about to a big man. That's Joel Embiid. He is listed doubtful. We know he had surgery for appendicitis about 2 weeks ago, but it is up in the air whether he's going to be able to play or not. I'm told he participated in 76ers shoot-around this morning. He has some treatment this afternoon, and then he's going to see when he gets to the arena, is he going to be able to warm up to try to play? It's a 1-1 series. You know Joel Embiid wants to try to give it a chance if he can, and he's healthy, whether it's tonight or in Game 4.
Appreciate the info, Shams. Thank you so much. All right, let's get to what we do know. Shanae, what's your best Hawk impression? Is it better than that?
Favorite voice, girl.
Was that good? No?
Pretty good.
All right, let's head to the A, okay? CJ McCollum and company. Here he is going to work right away, Shanae.
One of the shiftiest players in the NBA. Some things are seasoned in time, and he's saying, ain't no way he can guard me. Well, that is a fact at this point.
I mean, they traded Trae Young, and they got back a guy who's doing his best Trae Young right now.
Yeah. True.
No doubt about it. And look, the Hawks were just on fire here to start this game. Here's a corner shot there from Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
They were just a step faster.
Yeah.
Period of this game here. Certainly in that third quarter there.
Now, deja vu. We've seen this before. Here come the Knicks, though.
Good minutes from Deuce McBride. Good minutes from OG Anunoby, knocking down threes. Those are the most important shot for them. But that block right there was huge.
Yeah.
And then this is an even better reset.
Anunoby was insane in this game. He gets the loose ball there off the block. But Anunoby, the kick out here. McBride, another three.
And then you started feeling maybe it's New York's time. Maybe they can
I thought they were
back.
after that shot. That's when I thought they got it.
Now Brunson goes to work. The
Not
spin,
this shot. Not
the
this
hoop,
shot.
and the horn. Knicks looking for a fourth 18-point comeback in the last two postseasons. Next play, though, Jalen Johnson drives to the rim, gets denied, but gets it back.
Stayed with it, the hustle of the Hawks.
All right, so here, let's take a look at this last play. What are you seeing here, Chanae?
I'm seeing that Quinn Snyder was in his bag. He kept the best defenders away from the play so that C.J. McCollum could get downhill and get to his kill spot.
Look who's
There it is.
defending that play, though.
Yeah, by design.
One guy on him.
One guy.
He just did this to you last game.
Yeah. The Knicks have one more shot here. Brunson tries to get it to Hart, can't get it. Here come the Hawks, and this will be it.
Tough look. That's how they should have defended CJ.
A lot of white jerseys there. A lot of white jerseys.
Yeah, Kuminga and Alexander Walker there to come up with the loose ball. The Hawks become the first team to win consecutive playoff games by exactly 1 point since LeBron James's Cavaliers did it back in 2006 in consecutive overtime wins over the Wizards. C.J. McCollum, who had both game winners for Atlanta, spoke after the game.
I'm comfortable with failure, and I'm comfortable with success. I've played for a long time. I really cherish the game, and I know I'm closer to the end than the beginning. So I think for me, it's just about maximizing each day, maximizing your talents, and just really working. I think the team has a huge faith and belief in me and my talent and my ability, and I think they appreciate my approach. And I think, you know, for me, throughout the game, down the stretch, whatever coach draws up, I'm living with it.
Like the way we fought back, but there's a lot of things that go throughout the game that myself can be better at, and missed opportunity for sure.
Tough loss for the Knicks for sure. We're joined here at the desk. You already heard Chiney Ogwumike, Ramona Shelburne, Bobby Marks, George Sedano in for Malika. So, Ramona, how do the Hawks have a 2-1 lead?
Well, they're playing fast. They have an identity out there. They've been playing great in the second half of the season. And I think the Knicks look like a team that expected to win this series. When you fall behind, you kind of know you can come back because you've got guys like Jalen Brunson. You've got OG Anunoby was playing great, but you can't fall behind against a team like this. It reminds me a little bit the way the Hawks are playing, of the way the Minnesota Timberwolves are playing. Long, athletic, fast. There's Kuminga. I mean, every time in Golden State, they're probably watching this going, oh. But they have an identity, and the Knicks right now don't. And I think that's the difference in this series.
The New York Knicks are experiencing, unfortunately at the worst time, a regression, especially a number of their stars are regressing. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks are having a renaissance behind C.J. McCollum, who has been phenomenal. And there are a couple of plays where we can break this down the stretch where he has been the clutch player, where people thought it would be Jalen Brunson. Here, he's been cooking 81 points through 3 games. So what do? You send the double team, but he's not panicked. Again, you heard him in the press conference. He's poised. He's going to get to his spot, put on the break, skirt. Look how much room he created to knock down this shot with under 3 left. But let's talk about the actual shot, because again, the best defenders were off and out of the play. Here, you got to pressure the ball to make this at least difficult and get CJ moving from behind. Nice little butt screen by coming, and then you go downhill, and then you have a small person. So all he has to do is elevate to knock down the most important shot of the game. I love this play from CJ McCollum. A lot of people sort of looked at the Atlanta Hawks and said, what are they going to do the second half of the season? Where they bet on defense, they bet on CJ McCollum being a true leader, someone who's formerly been the president of the NBPA. And then now moving forward, you bought time for a big signature game from a guy like Jalen Johnson too. So they've been sort of like easing their way in behind the leadership of CJ.
That's the first time I've ever heard butt screen, but also accurate. But
yeah.
Great. So
no,
we
say it all the time. Have you heard butt screen?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, butt screen. If you got it, you might as well use it. You know what I'm saying?
You got it, use it, no doubt. Hawks are soaring. The Knicks seem to be drowning at the moment, Bobby. But what do you make of their lineup situation at the moment?
Well, there's a lot. Every game is kind of different, right? As far as different strategy, different adjusting lineups. I think for New York, their core 5, which includes Mikal Bridges, we didn't see him in the fourth quarter down the stretch here. And I think when you look at it here, this was something that stood out. Minus 11 with the starters here. And what Mike Brown did, he put in Deuce McBride. And we saw McBride guard C.J. McCollum at the end. We can debate as far as if that was the right move here. And now look at that. Plus 24 with the other players here. And I think that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on when we get to Game 4, is if we see more McBride and less Bridges here. But, I mean, there's a lot of things that went wrong for New York. 10-0 in the third quarter for transition points. There was a big stretch there. The other thing that really stood out, and certainly that last possession there, in games with shot clock below 4 seconds or less, they are leading the league in field goal attempts. So you look at this offense that becomes a little bit discombobulated here, and a lot has to attribute to that.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot for a guy who the team traded 5 first-round picks for.
You trade for him. You trade for him to be in a spot like that at the end of the game, not to be on the bench.
You guys, lastly, did anyone feel weird? I know it was still statistically good numbers between Kuminga and Karl-Anthony Towns, but that matchup blew my mind. The fact that they're able to guard a center with Jonathan Kuminga, who's probably 6'7" at best, maybe 6'6". I know. I can't do it. Did it. But like Karl-Anthony Towns, you might be productive shooting, but like, why don't you have an offense where he can punish guys on a block? So it's not always Jalen Brunson trying to do his dance to try to score. It's now you have
Who's that on
options.
then? Who's that on? Is that on Towns or is that on the play calls?
I think Towns has been going with the new coaching change and just dealing with what it is. But at sometimes you got to pivot and just realize I'm that dude. And that matchup to me was fascinating.
By the way, Knicks fans, as you can imagine, not thrilled. And Bobby, I know you analyzed the lineups. Ben Stiller also not thrilled with the lineups, as we see here as he tweeted. So, all right, coming up, from bold words after. Over in the East, all eyes on the Cavs and Raptors. Literally, our neighbors to the north provided every fan with a straight-up Jurassic shirt. Imagine that in the playoffs.
I love
That'd
that.
be pretty cool.
Love that.
Look, We the North was ready. They are absolutely fired up. Let's get right into it here. Jamal Shed finds Scotty Barnes in the corner, knocks down a three.
Scotty, when he sees those types of shots going down, you know it's going to be a long night with the long ball.
Here's R.J. Barrett straight on. Another three.
Great point barrage last night from both players.
Meanwhile, Cavs, some challenges from downtown.
Yeah, the renaissance rate of the NBA has been live and die by the three, and at this point,
I mean, he hit the rim on that one.
Yeah, at least. That's
better than the air ball.
A little bit better.
Yeah, so you see the numbers there. And then second half, Scotty Barnes.
Look how much space he had.
At the buzzer.
Yeah. Got to the spot. We like that corner in the north.
I think he got forgotten a little bit this year, but how good a season he had.
True.
Jamison battled
some people now.
4 triples in that game. Later in the fourth.
Oh, come on.
Corner three for Barrett. That pretty much sealed it. Under 3 minutes in the fourth. Raptors up 20. Barnes tips the loose ball to Barrett. Finishes it with the layup, the hoop and the harm. Toronto wins game 3. All right, however, it wasn't all losses for the Cavs, though. In case you missed it, Cavs forward Jalen Tyson's younger brother, Jordan, was selected number 8 overall to the New Orleans Saints in the NFL Draft. An emotional night for the Tyson family, as one of their sons is playing in the NBA playoffs and the other is now officially an NFL player. 2 brothers are about 2 years apart there. And before the game, Jalen took to social media and posted a picture of the two saying, "Your day, brother. Love you to death." And, you know, it's funny, when you were watching the draft, you could see that Jordan was on an iPad watching Jalen's game while that was all going down. It was pretty cool stuff to watch for sure. And here he is, Cavs forward. Jalen Tyson joins us now. So, Jalen, what a special night, man, for you, your brother, your entire family. You played a playoff game at the same time your brother's name was called on the NFL draft stage. Take us inside the moment you found out your brother had been drafted.
Yeah, obviously this is a big game for us. Wish we would have won the game. It would have been a little bit more enjoyable for me. But I was in the game when he got drafted. I remember I was on the bench constantly asking for updates, like, where we at? And then they just tell me who got picked. And I'm in the game. And apparently what I was told is when I hit the corner 3, that's when he got, like 2 seconds later, he got drafted. And then the next time I did, and everybody came up and said, know where he's at? Do you know where he's at? I'm like, no, I don't know. And then someone finally tapped me and said, he went to the street. So I was like, yeah, there we go.
That's wild, man. Speaking of that, I mean, the timing of that, as you pointed out, is just insane when you think about it. You're hitting the shot. He's about to get drafted. Did you guys get a chance to talk about that? Have you talked to your brother?
Yeah, of course. I talked to him multiple times.
What was that conversation like?
You know, he was excited. I clowned him. I asked him the morning of the draft. I was like, "Yo, you gonna cry?" He said he wasn't gonna cry, but everybody knows he had a lot of emotion. I'll definitely clown him about that.
Yeah. Hey, man.
But he's excited, super excited.
No doubt, man. And you should cry. Tears of joy there. So, look, your brother Jordan wore a special pair of shoes that you're familiar with. What can you tell us about those shoes?
Yeah, so everybody was asking me about those shoes. Those are not the same exact shoe. Like, it's the same shoe, but he had his own pair. I have my own pair. We're not sharing shoes. We don't have enough money where we can get our own shoes. But, yeah, I think that was dope. You know, I'm blessed to be able to be that kind of role model for him, and I want to continue to be that. And hopefully he can have a long career. Hopefully we both have long careers. And we pass it to our kids in the future.
Yes, sir. No doubt about that. Now, let's talk about your pops. He spoke last night about raising you both, and I want you to take a listen to the message that he had here.
I told people a long time ago, I'm not building football and basketball players. I'm building men that are going to change this world that we live in. At the end of the day, so that guess what? Everybody, every little kid in this world is going through something, or you think that you aren't worthy. Guess what? I'm telling you, you are. As a father, as a mother, we poured into these little young brothers all the time because guess what? They are worthy. And look at what God did. Tough. You can't explain it. There's nothing else that you can say about this, but God is good.
Man, I'm about to tear up listening to your pops.
All the time.
All right, what was your reaction hearing that?
you know, my dad, man, I can't put into words how much he's a big part of this, right? He's obviously doesn't get all the flowers because me and Jordan get most of the flowers, but man, he instilled a toughness about us. And he was a pretty good athlete himself. I mean, me and Jordan a little bit better, but he was a pretty good athlete, man. My dad is the best human being. Anybody that's ever came in interaction with him knows that he's one of the best human beings. He does whatever he can to help people out. And, you know, I feel like him being a good human being is what blessed me and Jordan.
All right, who's the best athlete in the family then? Because we know Pops was an athlete too.
You know, this is Jordan's moment, so I'm going to give it to Jordan right now.
Okay.
Only because it's his moment. Only because a week from now, it's going to be big bro. It's always a big bro.
Okay. Let's talk about this playoff series you mentioned earlier. You guys are still up 2-1 in this series. How do you balance that emotional moment with staying locked in with the task at hand still?
Yeah, I say, like, being that role model for Jordan, like, he got to understand, like, this is a business now. This is a job, and I got a task at hand. My task is to try to go out and play my best basketball, best brand of basketball, try to help this team win, right? So, yeah, I have a lot of emotions, but I didn't really celebrate it until after the game because I was out there trying to win the game, trying to put our team in the best situation to win. You know, it's a good moment for him, but we both, he's going to celebrate, I'm going to celebrate him, and then eventually we're going to have to go our both ways and do our jobs at the best of our ability.
Well, listen, man, an unbelievable moment for you, your family. Congratulations to you guys. I know the job's not finished, and you got a game on Sunday. I'll be there, so I'll see you there. But thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
You're watching NBA Today.
Oh, they're the Wolves. From postgame talk to primetime takeover, the Nuggets series heads to Minnie for Game 3. Timberwolves hosting the Nuggets as the series is tied. But it was Jaden McDaniels who made some noise after Game 2.
Go out for Jokic, Jamal, all the bad defenders, Tim Hardaway, Cam Johnson, the whole team. Like, just go at it.
They're all bad defenders.
Yeah, they're all bad defenders.
And McDaniel backed it up here, Chene.
Oh, he didn't just back it up. He backed it up in a big way, getting the steal and getting the flush. And then I love anyone that works hard on the offensive boards, snatching that with one hand and putting it back in. He was making a statement. He said it before the game, but he absolutely backed it up, as you said.
Listen, those guys hang around with Anthony Edwards. Jaden McDaniels is one of his best friends. Nas Reed, those guys, they all train together, and I think some of Ant's cockiness rubbing off on him in a good way.
And it rubbed off on Rudy, too, because you see him there on the Joker, a finish on the other end by Julius Randle.
Rudy's been possessed since he finished 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting.
Yeah.
Took that personally.
Jokic was held to 7 of 26 shooting, 27%, and 7 of 21 with Gobert as the primary defender. Elite defense by the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Late in the 4th, Wolves running away with it. McDaniels on the drive. Slams it again.
Elevator.
This is one of the best dunks you will ever see. That live, baby. Look at these people going insane on that dunk.
Here's McDaniels after the game after they took a 2-1 lead.
Just playing Denver really motivates us. That's enough for real. Just playing against them, we don't really care what they say. Just the number and the name across their chest make us play like this.
They're the really good defensive team, you know, and we couldn't make shots. And then yeah, I think to be distributor to whatever, I need to be a little bit, not to be, but if I make a little bit of shots, then the defense is gonna react. So I think that's why I couldn't get anybody involved because they didn't help with them. You know, it was just a one-on-one coverage. So I think I needed to do a little bit better job scoring, and then I think it's going to open up for everybody else.
Jokic finished Game 3, as I mentioned, shooting 7 of 26. That's the fewest made field goals in a game with at least 25 attempts in the Joker's NBA career, regular season or playoffs. Overall in the series, Jokic is shooting 31% when guarded by Rudy Gobert. So, Chene, how worried should Denver be here?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5, almost 8. They should be worried because the Timberwolves have stolen all momentum, and also it's almost like superpowers. Rudy Gobert is stealing the superpowers away from Nikola Jokic in some ways. We've seen him defend it at a high level. 13 for 40 is what he's held Nikola Jokic to shooting, and 4 of 19 from 3. We're looking at that 33%. Also, this is contagious because overall for the Nuggets, they shot shot their worst percentage last night, 34% as a squad. So when Jokic is being defended well, that affects everyone else's ability to get a shot. Now, I know that there's a big factor, no Aaron Gordon as well. That impacts what they're able to do offensively, but you have to give credit to Rudy Gobert. It is a tall task. It is not easy to guard Nikola Jokic, and he had to take a lot of shots to be productive and get to his normal numbers.
Speaking of Aaron Gordon, we all think of him as a great defender. He's great at finishing the ball, but he's a great ball handler, too. And I think they're really missing him as an outlet, as a secondary ball handler, because Minnesota's able to put so much pressure on Jokic and Murray. Jokic looks worn down. Like, he just, like, his shots are short. I was checking with people around. I go, is Jokic okay? Is he hurt? Like, because I've never seen him shoot like that. Jamal Murray looks like that physical pressure is wearing him down a little bit in this series. Why? Because that man in the red hat is not out there. Aaron Gordon is a phenomenal offensive player. They're plus 5.4 differential offensively with him, and the net rating is 12.7 better with him out there. I mean, that's not just missing Aaron Gordon's leadership, and
he's a big
missing
piece.
him everywhere.
Yeah. A year ago on this Friday, after Denver had lost Game 3 in Los Angeles against the Clippers, got blown out, I said I was concerned about Denver. I'm really concerned about Denver right now after losing Game 3 to Minnesota for a couple of reasons. The Aaron Gordon injury, no Peyton Watson. They're thin on their wings. I talked to a scout yesterday morning as far as what are the keys for Minnesota against Denver. Make Jokic and Murray work defensively here, and don't be content on settling for shots. And that's something that Minnesota did effectively last night. And 7.5.
Where you at?
8.5.
Oh, okay. Can I get a 9.5?
No. This is a former champion, and I covered all those games last year.
I know, but I'm
come back.
different now. I feel
they also
different.
got Jalen Pickett. Let's see if they put another ball hit.
Hey, they're doing it again tomorrow night on ABC. We'll have Game 4 between Denver and Minnesota at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, Shaq, tip-off coverage at 8. They'll also be back at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific to break down this game and other games on the schedule. All right, before we flip to tomorrow, we still have some big news on tonight as we continue to track the status of Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs star suffered a concussion in the second quarter of San Antonio's Game 2 loss. That leaves him questionable ahead of a pivotal Game 3 in Portland tonight. Michael C. Wright now joins us here. So, listen, Michael, what's the latest on Victor?
Well, the latest is Victor is definitely progressing through the process. We saw him this morning at shoot-around. And let me tell you that the part of the process is a return to exertion process, okay? That starts out as stationary bike riding. It elevates to jogging, and then it goes to agility drills. And finally, the last part of that is non-contact team drills. Now, I can tell you that they kicked us up out of shoot-around way earlier than normal. They said, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. And then one of the team spokesmen said, you could probably guess why. So it sounds to me like he might be going through that last part of the return to participation exertion process. And so even if he's cleared, though, I must note that the San Antonio Spurs typically err on the side of caution with all their players, especially like a guy like Victor Wembanyama, because they see him as a franchise cornerstone that's going to be around here for the next 15, 20 years.
Now, certainly they always are a team that moves with caution for sure, and particularly with him over his time there. But let's talk about the rest of the team. Let's just say, for example, he doesn't play. How do they potentially look at this matchup now? What changes for them? What does that team look like if he can't play?
Well, De'Aaron Fox said that, hey, we are a very good team with Victor Wembanyama, but we are preparing to play as if we don't have him. You know, Luke Cornett, he's the guy that will be filling in for Victor Wembanyama if he can't go tonight. And Luke Cornett said, hey, I'll just be getting a few more minutes. I'll be a little bit more tired than I'm used to being. But the San Antonio Spurs, they've done this before. They're 12-6 in games without Victor Wembanyama, and they played the Portland Trail Blazers 3 times this year, and Victor didn't play in any of those games, and they finished with a 2-1 record. Even if you go back to Game 2, look, the Spurs were up with 8.5 minutes left to go, and they gave up a 14-point lead. So the Spurs know they're plenty of capable of performing without Victor Wembanyama.
Michael, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it as always. All right, so Chiney, the Spurs had a good record this regular season without Wemby, but these are the playoffs. So what's different now? Who's got to step up?
Let's take a look at the Spurs world with and without Victor Wembanyama. San Antonio, there's some hope because you still win games. You see those 12 wins without Victor Wembanyama, you can still win a game against the Portland Trailblazers. But most importantly, without Wemby, you will need someone to change the game. Enter De'Aaron Fox. He is someone who is a two-time All-Star, an All-Star this year. He's second in scoring on the team. He's a former Clutch Player of the Year in 2023, and he also once led the NBA in steals. I have a need. The need is for speed. That is his specialty. 9 seasons in the NBA. And when he uses his speed to his advantage, it really creates for others. First, here's a pick and roll. He rejects it. Now, most players would just simply take the floater. The hands are down, but instead, he could also have an option to dump it over to the dunker spot or the opposite side for the post, or you can have a kick out. So his speed and his ability to read these pick and rolls allow multitudes of options. He's going to have to knock that down consistently. But again, I talk about how good he is north and south. When he sees an opportunity to get to the lane, he just turns on the jets. The defense will have to react here, and instead, now, defensively, you're in a scramble and you have to make tough decisions. Boom, he blows by everyone. Nice little dump off, and we talk about Cornette. That was a cool play, but Luke, how good has he been? I told you in 2023, the Clutch Player of the Year, where ever since he entered the NBA, he scored the 4th most points in the clutch time. That's a good company to keep. DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Jokic, LeBron James, and De'Aaron Fox.
Awesome stuff, Janae. Now, on the other side of the coin here, we have a developing story out of Portland. Ramona, what can you tell us?
Well, yesterday at practice, Tiago Splitter was asked about that man, Damian Lillard, our three-point shooting champ, and the Blazers put up the little googly eyes as we saw that. And Tiago Splitter was asked, is there any chance that he comes back? And Tiago said, probably not. In other words, that wasn't a no. I mean, probably not, but from what I understand, Dame is theoretically could play. He's ready to play. Nobody wants him to come back from this Achilles right now. He's trying to get ready for next season. But let's just say Portland keeps winning. Let's just say they have a chance at winning the series or winning in the second round, and this man is out here doing his things. Then I think that conversation gets a little more interesting. So probably not. I think Tiago Splitter chose those words carefully, and I think that's right on. But from what I understand, it's not a no.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
That's huge.
We'll keep eyes on Dame time. We'll see that. But it's time for us. Playoffs so far? Well, wow, at age 41, he's still doing this, man. It's crazy. So we needed to break out top of the top. Best LeBron playoff dunks of his career. We had 294 games to choose from.
Oh, my goodness.
So we'll start off with LeBron and the Cavs taking on the Bulls. One-handed monster slam right here. Cavs win in 5 for the first round of the East. He was 20 years old then. Now listen to Kevin Harlan on this one against the Celtics.
Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
Yes, and it's true.
Yep. LeBron with the insane poster. 23 years old there. Now 2018. Look at this.
Oh, my gosh.
In the finals against the Warriors.
Punch that ball through the rim.
It's like a horse shot.
All right, now let's go to the Heatles era. All right, Heat taking on the Bulls in the Eastern Conference semis. LeBron goes up with the one-handed poster.
Oh, my gosh.
Heat win in 5, by the way, in 2013. Now LeBron taking on the Mavs in the finals. The slam off the rebound there.
I love how he stands straight up and goes, what is it, Dragon Ball Z? Super Saiyan?
Yeah. Here he is against the Sixers.
One-handed.
Up there.
It's like he paused midair. Let's watch him glide. Gliding. There goes the Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
The Lakers era, though, they should feel pretty good right now, too. They're up 2 against the Rockets.
Bubble ball.
But he's also doing his thing here. Look at this poster.
Oh, man.
Oh, poor Wes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Future teammate.
He was also on the team today. Ooh, reverse.
And this one against the Grizzlies.
That was clean. None of these have impressed Bobby Marks.
I thought the other day. Tuesday night. Listen, the Tuesday night was the best one.
There it is, Bobby.
There it is. Maybe it was coming right at me. I was sitting right there, right in my living room.
So the Lakers should feel pretty good. They're up 2-0, as we mentioned. LeBron is a perfect 24-0 in a series when he leads 2-0. That's, of course, the most in NBA history. On the flip side, Kevin Durant, his teams are only 1-5 when going down 0-2. The Lakers have been throwing double teams at KD all series, and Jabari Smith says he needs to figure it out.
It's on him to find ways to get himself involved and get to his spots without the, excluding double team. Just because he getting double team, we still need him to, be KD. So, there's still ways around it, and we got some fixes to it, and we're gonna be better next 2 games.
2-0 is nothing. We've all kind of been there before. I know I have, and things flip quickly in a series, but stay aggressive and confident.
So Ime isn't worried, but Kevin Durant did have 9 turnovers in game 2. So, Bobby, how do they turn this around?
Well, I think you just hit on it. During that stretch in March when they were really struggling, 7th most points off turnovers allowed. In these 3 games in the playoffs, 4th most points off turnovers allowed. So you got to value the possession of the basketball. The other thing is, I love Amen Thompson, but in these type of settings, he is one-dimensional. 70% of his points this season is in the paint. So when they're double-teaming Durant, as they've been doing here, who else on this team can score if it's not Durant? We're probably going to see a dose of Reed Sheppard moving forward here. But I think the Thompson part of angle is something certainly to watch.
Speaking of Reed Sheppard, Janae, he only played 11 minutes in game 2. What have you made of his play in this series, and what did we need to see here?
Kevin Durant needs help with people that can space the floor and shoot the ball. And Reed Sheppard is that guy. And it makes a difference when he's on the floor and when he's not. Here on this possession, he is not on the floor. And what does that lead to? The Lakers are able to, like sharks in the water, smelling blood. The Rockets are red. They see the blood, and they're going to attack. That is an unforced error. That is too casual with the basketball. 9 turnovers. Now we have Reed on the floor. Now, I know he's only shooting 25% in this series. It does not matter because historically you still have to guard him. The double team comes, but you have to still space the floor, and you can't send it constantly at KD. Reed is able to attract the defender. That allows Kevin Durant to get downhill and get to a spot. Now, he's so good that he's still going to get 2 hands contesting, but Reed Sheppard can at least take some pressure and bring the ball up off of Kevin Durant. I don't think it's just KD. Other people need to step up and take the pressure off of him because he's playing not 100%. He banged his knee, the patella. We're talking about rolling the ankle.
Right.
So he's not 100%, but he's dealing with 1,000% of the Lakers defenders.
Yeah, no question about that. All right, let's welcome in Dave McMenamin, who's in Houston for this one. Austin Reaves upgraded to questionable, Dave, for the first time all playoffs. What can you tell us about his status tonight?
George, he's been out since April 2nd with a grade 2 left oblique strain. And at the time of that injury, the recovery timeline was 4 to 6 weeks. Today is 3 weeks and 1 day since the injury. He started his return to play progression earlier this week. On Tuesday, he was playing one-on-one. It's gone further since then. He's questionable. We'll see what happens as we approach game time. Now, keep this in mind. When he missed all of January with the calf strain, his first 5 games back were off the bench. That could be an option for J.J. Redick, the coaching staff tonight, especially considering just how well Luke Kennard's been playing. 25 points per game on 65% shooting thus far in the starting lineup so far in the series. So even if Austin can go, we'll have to see if there's a minute restriction or if they use him in a bit of a different role to ease him back in.
Good stuff, Dave. Thank you so much as always. Appreciate it. All right, Ramona. What do you make of the potential of Austin Reaves?
Well, I think if you're the Rockets here, like Austin Reaves coming back, I don't know how much he's going to play even if he does come back. But I think that you have to focus on yourselves. You just have to make shots. And when you're on the road and they shoot as poorly as they did, they're 14th out of the 16 teams in three-point shooting in this series. They're last in total field goal percentage. It's not that often that you can have 44 more field goal attempts taken and still be losing in the series, right? They're winning the rebounding. They're just not making shots. And I think you have to just count on your shooters to keep shooting and be better at home. Because as you say, young players oftentimes on the road don't shoot well. That's the play here. I mean, I know you got to get KD some help. It's just make shots.
Yeah, and the Rockets, unfortunately, have opened up a can of worms because I was saying you can't get Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves level production from Luke Kennard and Marcus Smart because now Austin Reaves come back and now you have a huge deal defensively. And this is one of the strongest defensive teams. They can't slow these guys down. It seems like they were caught a little bit off guard, not only from Kevin Durant, but also just they should know the schemes are coming. They should know that that offensively KD is going to be trying to taken out. How do you respond? I'm excited to see Houston's adjustment. It's been a minute since there was hope in the Toyota Center. Y'all, I know I've been there multiple times. The fans are ready. Courtside is sold out. Kevin Durant is here. You have to make the most of this.
So, she mentioned the adjustments for the Rockets. What about J.J. Redick and the adjustment to the adjustment and the anticipation
Well, listen, if you get Austin Reaves back, you're going to have to tinker with your lineup a little bit right now. But I'm rolling out what I've been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worked here.
Yeah.
Basically, Luke Kennard off screens, LeBron basically as the point of attack here. Your role players with Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes here. I think
Marcus Smart.
Real quick with Houston, are we going to see a Dorian Finney-Smith sighting?
Ever? I mean, that was a big free
signed
agent.
him for these moments here.
And we were so excited when we signed him. You know? Get the most. Get the most out of him.
3D player.
Sorry, guys.
We'll
Not even on the court. Gotta keep
We'll
it cool.
see tonight.
We'll be all right.
All right, before we bounce, this Earth Month, the NBA is celebrating the legacy of Bill Walton, who many of us know was a champion for basketball and the environment. Bill was a strong supporter of the league's environmental sustainability efforts, having played an important role in multiple NBA Green campaigns over the years. And today, NBA Green is teaming up with the Arbor Day Foundation to plant 3 trees for every three-pointer made today. The first 32 trees will be planted in Bill Walton's honor. To learn more, visit NBAgreen.com. Responded in a big way in Game 2, and tonight the big question will be whether Philly will get their former MVP back. Ramona, what do you know about Embiid's status?
Well, he's trying to get back in play, right? And he's trying to come back from this appendicitis that he had, and it's a tough timeline here. He went through the shoot around today, didn't do much. It was sort of a walkthrough, but it's important in the sense that they went through the game plan, and so he understands what they're trying to do in this game. It still leaves open the possibility that he could try to play tonight. But he, initially when he had this surgery and he had everything going on, it took him a while to be able to get back and just do physical things. And so there's a conditioning issue. I know he's working really hard to try to get back. I think tonight is still a bit of a stretch. He's listed as doubtful. But, with Embiid, it always goes down to the wire. Goes down to 5 minutes before the game.
Well, even if he does come back, I think from a conditioning standpoint, he hasn't played in a few weeks here. I still look him as a third option.
Yeah.
It's a good third option to have, especially how the 2 guards have played with Maxey and Edgecombe, and the style of play as far as the ability to stretch that Boston defense. And when you make threes, I think you can beat this Boston team.
Yeah, when you think about the Boston Celtics, though, in this matchup, they always make calculated risks and calculated gambles when it comes to three-point shooting, and this is what this game is coming down to, because right now, VJ Max, they combined to shoot 50% from 3. They were 11. They knocked down 11 threes combined between VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, whereas the Celtics in this series, their shooters cannot find the bottom of the net. They're shooting 20%, the combination of Jason Tatum, Peyton Pritchard, and Derek White. That is not good at all, and you see those two right there at 22. You add in Pritchard, that's 20%. So overall, if they knock down shots and keep the Sixers from shooting threes, they will see themselves in the winner's.
Okay, look, that game is tonight. But Sinead, what day is it?
Friday.
Yeah, so it is time to
I
play
love this game.
everybody's favorite
Let's go,
game.
Sinead.
Who said that? We look at a bunch of quotes that caught our attention. We ask our esteemed
Watch out, I'm gonna
contestants
get this.
who said that. Sounds good?
Yeah.
All right, here's
Okay.
our current standings.
Yes, I'm not at the bottom.
Ramona, undefeated.
Yeah, I mean,
Still
one.
undefeated. Today, 500.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Bobby, not so much.
Well, the one is when I cheated. So.
Yeah.
You are the reason why we can't have good things.
All right, here we go. First up, Ramona.
Funny.
Who
Okay.
said the quote? If I'm being honest,
I know this one.
I didn't remember doing it. My teammates in the locker room were like, bro, you're always aura framing.
Can we swap?
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to help you.
I think that's VJ.
Survey says it is VJ.
It's a wink.
To be honest, I didn't remember doing it. My teammates in the locker room, they was like, bro, you always aura forming.
It was smooth.
So good.
They got to make that a commercial.
All right, next up for Chine. Are you ready?
No, because I always know the ones I don't get.
All right. Here's the quote. I would go all in. I would get an acting coach. I'm not trying to be Denzel, but there's a role out there for me somewhere. Who said it? Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, or Donovan Mitchell?
I'm gonna go with Anthony Edwards. Was it some? No, I got it wrong.
Survey says
Dang
Jason
it.
Tatum.
And he's acted before. He was in that movie
I'm going in.
with Adam Sandler.
Acting coach. I'm not trying to be Denzel, but there's a role out there for me somewhere.
Why can't I get the easy one?
Yeah, sorry.
Y'all
All right.
always give me the hardest.
Here we go. For Bobby, who said this? I think it's delusional. I think it's delusional confidence. He believes he's a Hall of Fame quarterback or a pitcher or somebody. Was it A, Julius Randle, B, Chet Holmgren, or C, Dylan Brooks?
Great. That's not an easy one here.
I don't know it, but I have a good guess.
I'm just going to flip a coin here. I'm going to say Chet Holmgren.
If y'all get it
Chet Holmgren is correct.
That's how we gotta do it.
I think it's delusional confidence.
Okay.
You know, he believes he's a Hall of Fame quarterback or pitcher or somebody.
So you give everyone the easy questions and I get the hardest one.
Janae,
I'm happy for my teammates.
You're under 500 again. I'm so sorry.
Did I win again? Did I win?
That just made my weekend.
It was good while it lasted.
You're almost at 500 now. All right. Janae, are you okay?
No. I'm too competitive. At least I ain't last.
That's a Stanford in you.
At least I ain't last.
You aren't last. Bobby is still, although by percentages, I don't know,
You need to get one more right.
Yeah, it's